Hello, and welcome to this presentation of Encore BSO Recitals. I'm Richard Sebring, the Associate Principal Horn of the Boston Symphony and Principal Horn of the Boston Pops, and we're happy to share this horn-centric program with you. I'm joined by my horn section colleagues, Rachel Childers and Michael Winter, along with BSO members Tatiana Dimitriadis on violin, Kathy Bazrak and Katie Sievers on viola, Mickey Katz on cello, and two special guests often seen on the Symphony Hall stage, pianist Vitas Baxis and harpist Charles Overton. This program, Celebrating the Horn, centers around the classical and romantic eras. But to start us off, we have two world premieres, which I wrote just as we were preparing to record this concert. The first piece features the most unusual ancestor of the horn. Awaken, A New Day, is a call and response piece for two Swiss alphorns, which are the simplest of horns made of spruce wood, 12 feet long, with no valves. The major tonality of the harmonic series lends a positive flavor to this fanfare. The next piece began as an improvisation that I sent to harpist Charles Overton. His title, Listen to the Cry of Your Fellow Man, reflects our mutual anguish at the recent but regrettably long-standing racial violence in our society.
As Gus said, this piece really began as a response to this most recent wave of truly horrifying racial violence in the United States. As a black man living in this country, this has all really affected me quite deeply on an emotional level. Back in June, like so many others, I struggled to see a way forward for both our country and for myself personally. But something that kept coming up in the conversation and really resonated with me was this stress on the importance of listening in paving our way forward. You know, to really listen to one another, not just to hear. And I think that's an important distinction to make, because as we're all familiar as musicians, hearing is just this passive thing, but listening inherently demands action. To listen, we have to not just take in what we're hearing, but to internalize it, and to take action in such a way that considers and honors what was heard. So it's my hope that this can serve as a piece of inspiration to us all to take a beat and listen closely to those voices around us, especially those that have been silenced for so long.
Next, we have a couple of romantic staples of the solo horn literature, the Schumann Adagio and Allegro and the Duca Villanelle. Robert Schumann was an early proponent of the horn with valves and wrote virtuosic music for it. His Adagio and Allegro from 1848 is a lyric, then fiery duet between horn and piano, challenging both instruments to the extreme. Villanelle by Paul Dukas dates from 1906 and was a competition piece for the Conservatoire in Paris. It requires the player to do everything possible on the instrument and has a happy, bucolic feel. Mozart wrote his duets, according to the manuscript, while bowling. There has been some controversy as to whether these were actually written for the horn or for the basset horn, which is a member of the clarinet family. But there's no question that they favor the tonality of the open natural horn. The movements selected here create almost a mini symphony, fast, slow, minuet, and a final joyous romp. Mozart's Quintet for horn and strings is sometimes thought of by horn players as his fifth horn concerto, but it is actually a fully featured chamber work for all the instruments. Interestingly, to complement the sonority of the horn, Mozart departs from the usual string quartet format to write for one violin, two violas, and cello. Notice the mellower quality of the lower strings. We hope you enjoy our musical offering here, and we very much look forward to playing for you live in Symphony Hall in the near future.
Stay well.